Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how to use the text animations in your WordPress website using the animation add-ons for Elementor plugins. So you can see some of the animations effects here. So let me show you actually how you guys can implement this kind of nice animations in your WordPress websites. So first of all, let's go to your WordPress dashboard and then click on Animation Addons. And from Animation Addons, click on the extension and then click on the GSAP extension. Then make sure that you have enabled the text animation extension. And then go to the page where you actually want to implement the text animation. So I want to implement the text animation on this page. So I'm going to click on the edit with the Elementor plugin. And then, so now you can see that we have a title at the very top of the page, and we are going to implement the text animations to this title. So if I select this title, you can see that we have an options, the text animations, and with the Animation Addons logo. Now I'm going to click on this, and you can see we have different kind of animations, but let's start from the character animations. So let's select the character. You can see that we have already a character animations, and if you wish, you can just enable or disable on the editor mode. But as I'm going to create the video and I want to see the animations directly from the editor, so that's why I'm going to enable it. And also you can enable it when you are creating the animations, but when you will publish or when your animations is done, you can just simply disable this, and I hope this will increase your backend performance. But anyway, so as I have selected the characters, and here is we have trigger, and I'll tell all of this just at the end of this video. And you can see the default delay value is 0.15 seconds, duration is 1 second, Stagger is this. So let me tell you one by one. So let me start from the delay. So what is delay actually? Delay is the amount of time in seconds you wait before the animation starts. So if you set the delay, for example, 2, the animation will begin 2 seconds later instead of start right away. Let me show you. So now I set 2, and if I click on the play now button, you can see that it's wait for 2 seconds and then the animation starts. So if I increase the value to 5, then it will wait for the 5 seconds to start the animations. Okay, so I hope you understand what is the delay meaning, and I'm gonna keep it for 0.15 seconds because I want to wait just to 0.15 seconds to start the animations. And second, and then we have the durations. So duration is the total time in seconds an animation takes to complete from start to finish. For example, if you set the duration 1 second, the animation will finish its movement in 1 second. But if I keep it 5 seconds, the animations will finish its movements in 5 seconds. Let me play. You can see that this is taking a lot of time to complete the total animations. So I hope you understand what actually duration does. So I'm gonna keep it just 1 second because I want to complete the animation movements in just 1 second. Now let's come to the Stagger. Stagger is a very important and very useful elements in the GSAP. So let me describe that what actually Stagger does. So Stagger controls how each element starts one after another instead of all at once. So if you set a Stagger like 0.02 seconds, or for example 0.02 seconds, each item begins its animation 0.2 seconds after the previous one. So what does this mean actually? As we are using the character animations, and if we set the 0.02, each character, for example W, U, A, R, So each character began its animation 0.2 seconds after the previous one. So we can say that the stager create a smooth sequence effects. Let me play with this. For example, so I just keep it 0.2. And if I play, you can see that. So E comes after 0.2 seconds of the W animations, and A starts its animations after completing the E animations of 0.2 seconds. So I hope you understand what I mean. But let me tell you the difference between duration and stager. So if I set the value 5 seconds and if I set the stager 0.2 seconds, now if I click on the play now, you can see the changes, right? So each character will animate 5 seconds. So W will animate 5 seconds, E will animate 5 seconds, A will animate 5 seconds, R will animate 5 seconds, and all of the characters will animate 5 seconds. But each one will start 0.2 seconds after the previous one. Let me tell you again. So each characters will animate for 5 seconds if we set the duration 5 seconds, and each one will start 0.2 seconds after the previous one. I hope you understand. Now let me play the animations. You can see that. And if I just decrease the value again to the 1, and it will play smoothly. But you can increase or decrease whatever you wish there. So you can see that this is a very cool animations. Now let's come to the transform value. So what is the transform X? So transform X is used to move an element horizontally. It shifts the element along the x-axis, meaning left to right or right to left on the screen. A positive value moves the element to the right and the negative value moves the elements to the left. I hope you understand what I mean, but let me show you now in practical. For example, if you set the transform X to, for example, 100 pixels, so it moves the element 100 pixel to the right. So you can see that it's coming from the 100 pixel right. So it's already moved the each and every character 100 pixels to the right. So let me play now. You can see that each one is coming from the 100 pixels of the left. We can use the negative value to comes it from the left. For example, see if I just press minus, and now if I click on the play now, and you can see that each character is coming from the 100 pixels of the left. Now play again. So you can see this is actually how the transform X value work. Now let's come to the transform Y. So transform Y is used to move an element vertically. So vertically means top to bottom, and transform X means horizontally means left to right. Okay. The transform Y shifts the element along the y-axis, meaning up or down on the screen. A positive moves the value downward and the negative value moves it to the upward. Similar to the transform X, but just this works with the y-axis. So for example, I'm gonna keep it 0 because I want to move the character's y-axis or vertically. Now I'm gonna set it to like 50. And this is a positive value, and if I click on the play now, and we can see that the elements move from 50 pixel down. So if I keep it as a negative, like if I set it to the 50 pixels, minus 50 pixels, and then click, and you can see that it's coming from the 50 pixels from up the top. So I hope you understand what does means the transform X and the transform Y, but let me show you that we can do the same thing, we can do the transform X and transform Y at the same times. For example, 50, 50. Now let's play. You can see this is a different animation actually creating again, and we can also like the negative value in the both, and you can see. And you can change the different value as well, like 10 pixels, for examples. So I hope you understand how the character animations work. Okay, now let me show you how to use these animations for on scroll, on page load, play with scroll, on hover, on click, and so on. So now we have made this as an on page load. So I'm gonna just remove this and I'm gonna keep just a transforming value to make you more understandable. So now you can see the on-page load. Let me tell you when you should use the on-page load. If you are creating an animations for the hero sections, so in that time you should use the on-page load. For example, if I click on publish and then if I click on the view the page, you can see that this is an on load. So this is a hero sections and you don't need to scroll or you don't need to wait to watch this animation. So that's why I use the on-page load animations on each hero sections of each page. So okay, now let's come from, so what is on-page load? On-page load means the animation starts automatically as soon as the web page finishes its loading. You don't have to scroll or click anything. As I told you that we need to use this on-page load animations at the hero sections of the page. So to see these animations, you don't need to scroll or click anything. And now let's come to the on-page scroll. So on-page scroll actually, okay, let's create the similar animations here to watch the how the on-page scroll works. So let me character on scroll. Okay, now I'm going to set it with on-page scroll. On scroll, and yeah, now you can see that it's scrolling. So it's animating. So text up by default. Okay, so you can see that the previous this animation, so I use the on page load, but in this case I have selected the on scroll. So what is on scroll? On scroll means the animation starts when the user scrolls to the element and it doesn't begin immediately. It's only triggered once the element comes to the viewport. What does this mean? Let me just publish this. Okay, let me scroll. You can see that there is no animations. But if I click on publish and then if I reload this page, you can see that this animation just start immediately. But you can see here there is a text, but the animation doesn't start yet. You can see when it comes to the viewport, only that time this animations starts its movement. So play with scrolls means this the animation is directly connected to the scrolling. When you scroll down and the elements come to the viewport, then then the elements will start its movements or its animations. Now let's come to the another thing which is called, okay, let's come back to this on page load, play with scroll. Okay, now, okay, let me show the play with scroll with this one as well. Now we have selected the on scroll as a trigger. Now let me select the play with scroll trigger. So what is the play with scroll? So play with scroll means the animation is directly connected to your scrolling. As you scroll down, the animation moves forward. If you scroll up, the animation moves backward. So let me show you. So I'm going to publish this. And then let's come here and reload again. So you can see that the animation is not completing automatically. It's completely related to the scroll. As I scroll, the animation is moves forward. You can see that. And if I scroll up, the animation moves backward. It's completely related to the scroll. So I hope you understand what does this means. So now we have the on hover. So on hover, what does this means? On hover means the animation starts when the user moves the mouse pointer over the element. So for example, let me create a button here. button. Here is a button and hover animation. I'm gonna name it like, okay, in positions. Where is the text? Okay. Hover animations, and I'm going to name it. So I'm gonna click on the advanced, and I'm gonna, because class ID is hover button or hover button. So I'm gonna copy this, and let's go to the title again and select the text animations, and now select the on hover, and here is we need to keep the button class. And now if I publish, now when we click on this or hover on this button, only that time the animation will start its movement. So let me see how, if this work or not. Okay, so you can see that this animation is not started, and if I hover, you can see that, yeah, this is working. This is very nice, right? So when I hover any elements, the animation will start. If I hover the button, you can see that animation is starting. Now the same thing is on click. So the same thing. So now if I hover, the animation is start. But if I want that when user click on this button, on that time that animation will start, we can do that as well. So now just click on click, and then just click on publish. And if I reload it, click, oh, you can see that the animation is started. So let me do one more thing. Content. You can see that if I click on this, then the animation is playing. So I don't need to go here to the front end for checking this. So yeah, I hope you understand how to actually use the text animations. And in the next video, I'm going to tell you how to use the word animations and how to use all of the other animations as well. So till now, thank you so much for watching this video.